Okay, what we're going to do is Silat, Serak, the Jurus. And I went through a historical piece where I showed some anger and some frustration and great detail of my history of Penjak, Silat, Tongkat, Serak. So just in case this gets thrown out there someplace, I'm not a guru in Serak. I don't know Serak. I know aspects of it. I'm a second-degree black belt in Tongkat Serak under Victor de Troyes and Bob Veneta. Okay, I went into that ad nauseum into the historical piece. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Serak Jurus. I have videotape or Super 8 of Paul de Troyes, Pendecker Paul. Probably, it's not dated, but it looks to me like probably the late 60s, maybe early 70s. Doing Serak Jurus. I have Gary Peel, Guru Gary Peel, who was one of Victor's top guys in the 80s. That was Bob Veneta's original instructor. And I have him on VHS doing the Jurus with Victor standing next to him. And then I have, in my mind, and probably on tape, I have Guru Bob doing Serak Juru One and so on. And then Victor taught me and a bunch of other people. He taught me both individually, the Jurus, and he also taught me in a group setting at my gym in Wenatchee, Washington, which is on YouTube right now. Go check it out. And then I did Jurus in Silat Concepts with Paladin Press. I think that was around 2000, the year 2000. And then we did Advanced Silat Concepts a year or two later. And then I also have, so we have, all the Jurus are all done differently. And it's really interesting, taking Silat aside for a moment, even though this is a Juru download, I want you to understand how I think back to that. You know, I have Kempo Karate techniques done, Tracy's Kempo Karate techniques on YouTube right now, and I've done videos on it. We call it Beyond Kempo, and that will be our downloads here, it's Beyond Kempo. This is Silat Concepts, but I'm making reference to Beyond Kempo. It's really important because I do a technique called circles of glass, but I do it slightly different than some other people do it. So they're really questioning the validity of the technique. And we went over this recently in one of the other downloads. Look, downloads. There's so many different ways to do it. If you do a horizontal, actually Josh, would you help me please and just look into the mirror, leave that on your arm, I don't care. Do a horizontal elbow, do it, and do it hard, hit your own hand. I mean, yeah, okay, there it is. And do Muay Thai angle 1, go ahead and there. Now do a Silat elbow, Serak. Do it right at the camera. So you've got a horizontal elbow, go horizontal, then you got the Silat straight down, and then you've got the Muay Thai elbow coming in at an angle. So basically you've got 45 degrees and 90-degree angles. Thank you. So which one of them are right? Well, if you're doing a Juru, you know, the form should be absolutely correct every time. But I've already seen throughout the ages that they're not done that way. And the more I look at the Jurus, and the more I realize how valuable they are, and how my own expression of them is really filtered through Dosei Pars and Kempo and Wing Chun and Tai Chi and Tongkat Silat, and then the Serak. And then as I get older and more training and more methods come in, more or less become more obvious and more valuable and so on. So I'm going to do Serak Juru One the way I did it on Advanced or on Silat Concepts. Okay? And then we're going to use that as a reference, and I'll show you why I'm doing it differently and how other people may do it. And thus it will be more apparent of all the discrepancies in the actual form. All right, so here we go. I'm going to do a Serak Juru One. Notice my start position. This is called a Kuda, and we're also going to go over to this position and why it's there and what it means and what it doesn't mean, and so on. All right. Juru One, Serak. Other side. from this angle so you can see it. Left side. Okay, that's essentially how I did it on Silat concepts and so on and so forth. That's my reference point. When I tie in the idea of learning these different arts, how they interact with each other is very, very important. They're almost more important than the singular art itself. I'm going to get some sticks and explain.